Welcome to the first presentation introducing you to Google Analytics. My name's Peter and I'm an account manager at Google. This presentation will show you how to track your AdWords return on investment, or ROI, using analytics. Today we'll cover the following three topics. 1. Introduction to analytics. 2. Using Google Analytics to improve your AdWords ROI. And 3. Creating your Google Analytics account. Introduction to Analytics. In this slide, we can see a sample of some of the more common questions that our AdWords advertisers ask us, such as, where are my sales coming from? Or, which marketing initiatives are the most effective? Without using Google Analytics or any other web analytical program, you're blind to what visitors do on your site. Using AdWords as an example, visitors may click on your ad and are then brought to your site. You know from your AdWords account how many clicks you received, but as to what they did on your site, or how long they spent, or where they left, etc., you're effectively blind. It could turn out that the keyword with the most clicks and highest click-through rate may not actually be generating any revenue for you. Google Analytics will give you a better insight to this and can help answer all of the above questions. So what exactly is Google Analytics? The first thing that you should know is that Google Analytics is a free, hosted web analytics service that gives you an insight into how visitors interact with your website. In other words, there is no subscription charge for the use of this service, and there's no requirement to install a program on your computer. Later in this presentation, we'll show you how to create your new Google Analytics account. The second key aspect of Google Analytics is that it contains a wealth of information regarding visitors to your site, distributed amongst over 80 reports. It's also important to note that Google Analytics also offers the functionality to pull data from one report and display it beside the data of the current report you're viewing. In the next few slides, we'll see some examples of this. Finally, the key benefits of using Google Analytics is that it will help you to better understand where your customers are coming from and how they interact with your site. Having gone over the reasons for setting up Google Analytics on your site, we'll now look at a few reports that can help answer some of those questions concerning your website. Where are all my sales coming from? Opening the All Traffic Sources report under the Traffic Source category will show you all the possible ways visitors use to find your site. If you've set up a goal, such as a sale, you'll be able to see which source of traffic drives the most conversions. What keywords do people use to find my site? Opening the Keywords report under Traffic Sources will give you insight into which keywords visitors use to find your site. It allows you to see all the paid and non-paid keywords that people use to find your site, and again, which keywords are the most valuable to you. Where and why are visitors abandoning my shopping cart? By highlighting the steps customers take to reach your goal page, you'll be able to identify if there are any bottlenecks that need to be addressed. For example, are you losing a lot of potential customers just before the final checkout stage? The Funnel Visualization report highlights exactly where customers leave your site during the checkout process. The next few slides will focus on how you can use Google Analytics to improve your AdWords return on investment. Before we begin, there are a few key points that you should adhere to when analysing data. Firstly, ensure that you have the Google Analytics code placed on every page of your site to ensure that there's no interruption in data collection. Secondly, in order to assess the performance of your site, you should highlight in your account when Google Analytics should record a conversion. For an e-commerce site, this could be the receipt page. Additionally, for retail sites, you should set up e-commerce tracking so that Google Analytics will record the exact details regarding each transaction. The third key point is to measure larger data sample sets to ensure that your decisions are not misled by anomalies. And finally, it's advisable to measure trends, such as how the data for this month compares to last, rather than absolutes. Which campaigns are the most profitable? Two indicators of a campaign's success in AdWords are the number of clicks it gets and its click-through rate. By accessing the campaigns report in the AdWords section of the Traffic Sources category, we can see that the campaign that generates the most amount of traffic may not always be responsible for the majority of the revenue. How can I improve my keywords ROI? By accessing the Keywords Positions report, we can see for each keyword which position is more profitable for us. Bidding for the top position may not make sense in every case. How can I identify keywords that need to be optimized? Bounce rate is an indicator of visits that left your site having not proceeded beyond the landing page. Keywords with an above-average bounce rate could be leading customers to a landing page that they didn't expect. Consider the keyword apple. You may be selling the fruit, but are your customers looking for a new computer or possibly some Beatles album? It's clear that Google Analytics can give you a wealth of information previously hidden about visitors to your site. In this next section, we'll go over how you can create your Google Analytics account and link it to your AdWords account. The Google Analytics interface is accessible by clicking on the Reporting tab in AdWords. If you don't already have an Analytics account, leave the radio button on the default Create My Free Google Analytics Account option and click Continue. Those that already have created a standalone account should be able to link it by clicking on the second option. The next step of the sign-up process asks you to enter in your website's address. At this stage, destination URL auto-tagging is applied, ensuring that visits from your AdWords ads are labelled as coming from your AdWords account and not the natural search. Click Learn More for more details on what this entails. Click Continue to proceed to the next step. Next, you're shown the Google Analytics Terms of Service. If you agree, click on the relevant tick box and click Create New Account. At this stage, you're shown the analytics tracking code that must be placed on every page of your site. If you're not going to add this code yourself, you do have the option below to email the instructions to your webmaster. When you're ready, feel free to click Save and Finish to access your account. Don't worry if you forget your code, as you can always return to this screen at a later stage. With your analytics account set up, the tracking code on every page of your site, and data appearing in your profiles, your analytics account is almost complete. The final step is to set up a goal, and details on how to do this can easily be found in the Help Centre. Don't worry if you're having trouble understanding what is a good goal for your site, as we'll go into more detail in our next presentation.